Hello there, this story is trending now. If you're new to the channel and want to learn and become smart, make sure to like and subscribe to this video. Also press the bell icon to get notified about everything we post. The store manager helped the poor girl collect the fallen change on her hand. He saw a familiar gift. Poor young Marina had only a few coins in her pocket and she walked into the grocery store to get something for her. Unfortunately, she only had enough money to be able to buy some bread and some milk, and then she put them in her bag and went towards the cashier to pay for it. She innocently took out the few coins and began counting it before paying, when suddenly someone rubbed against her and the coins fell from her hand and she began to panic. In the meantime, the store manager rushed towards the girl and helped her pick up the coins as she was panicking. He told her not to worry and to calm down, and suddenly he saw a bracelet that seemed very familiar on her hand, and he was shocked. He told her to come to his office, and she did, and then told her that his name was Nikolai and he was the owner of the store. He asked her about the bracelet and where she had gotten it from, and upon answering, the girl told him that it was a gift from her mother to her when she had turned 18. He gave her the things she bought for free and told her to come to the store next time so she could get discounts. Marina went back very pleased, but the man had some things in his mind. So he called his friend who works in the police department and asked him for a favor. He told him to trace the young girl and get all the details about her. His friend agreed and asked him to send a picture of the girl, which Nikolai took from the surveillance cameras. His friend asked him why he was so curious to know the little girl, to which he replied that it was because she was wearing a bracelet that was so similar to the one he gave his lover, back in the time when they both were young. 2 days after what had happened, Nikolai's friend called him and told him all that he had gathered about the young girl. He told him that her name was Marina and she lived not too far from there, just close to the store in a very small apartment. She was alone and had no one. She had a mother who died of serious illness 3 years ago, leaving her alone and sad. Marina had spent all her money on her mother when she was ill and now was in a very difficult financial situation. After hearing all this, Nikolai became even more curious and wanted to know more about the girl, and he kept waiting for her at the store. Just 3 days later, she came back to the store and saw Nikolai already at the door waiting patiently. He asked her to go with him for a coffee because he wanted to ask her some questions, to which she agreed. Both sat in a coffee shop and he asked her about her life. She told him all that the inspector had already told Nikolai, but also that her mother's name was Leoda and that she dearly loved her, but she passed away due to her illness. She told him further that she was grateful to have been raised by her mother, but after she got really sick, Marina had to leave her studies and work in order to pay for her expenses, but then she died and left her alone. He asked her about her father, to which Marina replied that she knew absolutely nothing about him, and whenever she would inquire about him, her mother would not reply. Upon hearing the name Leoda, Nikolai remembered his long-lost love that he had spent weeks with and was given the bracelet just like the one Marina was wearing. This made him realize that he felt as if Marina was his daughter. But he still wanted to confirm, so he wanted to do a DNA test. He took a strand of Marina's hair very wisely and then told her that she could take his number and call her whenever she needed help. Marina felt very pleased by his kindness and thought that he was at the age of her father would have been, so there is no chance he's taking advantage of her. Nikolai then went to the clinic and did a DNA test from the hair strand he had taken. To his surprise, when the tests came, it showed that Marina was not his daughter, and then he immediately called her and told her about everything that he had inquired her because he thought maybe she was his daughter, as she was wearing the bracelet exactly like the one he gave the only woman he loved when they were young. And when he saw Marina wear it, he was very surprised, so he inquired about her. Marina seemed very shocked, but then Nikolai offered her to be his daughter, as he had made up his mind that she seemed like his daughter even if she was not. He had never had any children because of the one woman he loved which he had lost, and then he never had any other women in his life. Marina seemed very happy too because she wanted a fatherly figure all this time too, so both went along really well. Nikolai told her that he wanted to open other branches of his store in other parts of the city and wanted to help her. Marina showed her intelligence and talent throughout the process, and it made Nikolai earn a lot of money and make profits out of his stores, double than it did before. Nikolai then desired to take his adopted daughter to his mother, Svetlina, and made her meet her. Svetlina was not very pleased at first with Nikolai asking a stranger to come and live with him, but she agreed because that was all she had wanted all along, for her son to be happy. As Marina was working with Nikolai, she had changed a small apartment a lot. It was better than it used to be, and she was living comfortably now, but she also wanted to live with the man she called father. So she moved in with him. The trust and love for Marina developed, and she managed all the stores and their responsibilities really well. This gave Nikolai the time to spend at home and rest and look out for his old mother. Some days, Nikolai would take out his old box full of memories and look at the old stuff, and one day he saw a picture of his brother Victor that he was in a conflict with. He decided to pay him a visit, as he lived in a small village nearby, because he had some things running in his mind. He asked Marina to accompany him and didn't tell her the full details yet, but instead told her that he wanted to spend some quality time there. It had been 10 years since he had last seen his brother, and then they went to the village to see Victor and his wife and son. Unfortunately, they told him that he had died a year ago and wanted to see Nikolai so badly so he could make amends with them. Nikolai and Victor had ended their terms because Victor was in a relationship with Leoda. Now, Nikolai was in doubt that Marina may be his niece, as he was not his daughter from the DNA tests, so he took his deceased brother's old shirt and Marina's old shirt and took it to the clinic to perform yet another DNA test. After the results came, his doubts this time were very true, as Marina really was his brother Victor's daughter and his niece. He went back home and told his mother about all that happened and that Marina was Victor's daughter and her granddaughter, after which Svetlina became very attached to Marina, and Nikolai was already in love with his niece, which was just like his daughter to him. He decided to keep the news a secret from her so as to not hurt her or cause her pain. He was, however, very curious as to why her mother gave her the bracelet that he had gifted her a long time ago. But he kept all the things buried in his heart, as Leoda was no longer alive. If she was, he would have asked her. He loved Marina so much that he couldn't do anything without her now. Marina was so happy to have found a family, a loving father and grandmother, and her life had eventually turned much better. One day, a guy came to the store. She was running, and slowly and gradually Marina and him fell in love with each other. Then one day, she took him to her house and introduced him to her father and grandmother. Both of them approved of the young, good-looking boy. Not long after the approval, a huge wedding party was arranged and everything was done according to how Marina had dreamt of. Nikolai was the happiest father in the world, as he saw the only woman in his life in the little young girl that he had found in the store that day. He looked at her as she smiled, laughed with her man, thinking that it was Leoda. He was very happy and couldn't control his tears of happiness. They all had a lot of fun and shared a lot of joy together in the wedding. Nikolai asked Marina and her new husband to live with them and run his stores together so he could be very happy, which they both agreed to, and afterwards started living a very happy, comfortable life. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like it and share it with your friends. Also, tell us in the comment section below about the story and whether you liked it or not.